It's Alex, and this is the motherfucking podcast.
It's the motherfucking pot.
So the word motherfucker is a noun. It describes a person, place, or thing.
This is the headquarters of the motherfucking podcast. You already know what it is, man. I'm in HQ as always, representing the 504 on the West Bank. As you already know, man, I have a special guest in the building. She has a great TikTok content that she puts out every week. Shit, I would say every day. Every day. It has consumed her life, and she is dope at what she does. Y'all need to check her out. But first and foremost, let me give it up to the food vixen of New Orleans, Alex Robinson. What's that?
That was a really nice introduction. I feel like you're giving me so much credit.
Yeah, man. Look, people need to know what's up, man, because there's a lot going on in the city. And I think you're a great part of what's going on. So salute to you, what you've been doing. But first and foremost, Alex, where can people find you at your content directly?
Yeah, I'm at Alex Robinson with 2 X's on both TikTok and Instagram. I post once a day, sometimes twice a day, about things to do in New Orleans, restaurant reviews, event reviews, and just about my life here and my life in general.
Now, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna start with the negative first and get it out the way. There is a lot of good restaurants out there in the city, even on the West Bank. There's a few on the West Bank, not a lot, but there's a few on the West Bank. But I have one in particular. I don't want to really bash them, but I can't help it but to bash because it was just that bad of an experience, and it hurts me even more because it's Black owned.
Oh no,
That's
the worst one to bash.
I know, but I got to be real because I don't want to send people.
Keep it real.
I don't want to send people that I really rock with and be like, yo, what you think about this place?
Yeah, it's embarrassing when you refer people to a place. It's not good.
I'll start it off and I'll let you tag in.
Okay.
But I don't know if you've been there yet, but I went to Cafe Bisa.
Never been. Over here?
It's in Orleans Parish. It's right off of Decatur, if I remember right. It's in the quarters, yeah. It's in the French Quarter. It's Black owned, and the one time that I went, I would say it's the one experience that I had. I had a weird waiter, and I had some bad food, which is a bad combination.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not gonna mention all the weird things that the waiter did because that's not related to the food.
Right.
I don't think that's fair.
Yeah.
But the food itself, the food was just was average.
Yeah, you can't really be average in New Orleans. And a lot of the times when I do make negative comments, especially I'll get comments from a lot of tourists or maybe people who don't eat out as much as I do. And they're like, I thought it was amazing. I thought it was so good. It's like, it is good, right? But this is New Orleans. Like, you have, like, I feel like you're competing against some really amazing stuff.
You gotta bring it in New Orleans.
Right? Some of the best restaurants, like, in the States. And you want to come out with something that's average, that's not as seasoned, or like, like, you can't do that. You have to like bring the best.
Right. All right. What would be a restaurant that you don't mind saying on air that didn't live up to par? I ain't gonna say it was terrible or nothing like that.
Because I already did a video on them.
Okay.
A lot of uptown restaurants are overrated, by the way.
Ooh,
I think that a lot of people who don't live in the city think New Orleans is uptown. Like Garden District, like that area. So a lot of people go there and they eat the food over there and they're like, this is amazing. So an example of that is La Petite Grocery. I also hate places that are expensive and not good. That pisses me off. Like, I hate dropping $200 on a meal. That leaves me
that's a good point.
Disappointed.
That is a good point.
So and it was good. But if I'm gonna go spend over $100 on a meal, I want it to be one of the best meals I'm having, because there's so much good cheap food in New Orleans. Like, I can go eat at the gas station and it tastes better. Like, I don't want to
now
nothing to do with it.
Now, people that might be that's not from New Orleans. I know we just said food from a gas station. Before you even start rolling your eyes and ready to click on something else, food at gas stations in New Orleans is actually really good if you go to the right places. I would say, Durbandy Food Store is a pretty good one. It's in Gretna. If you want to get a good pull boy from there, that's a good place to go. Wags Foods is another good one. It's in Marrero on the West Bank. It's not a gas station, but it has a similar feel to it.
Like corner stores.
Yeah, it looks like a corner store, but the food is amazing there. If you go to the right, Brothers
is so good.
If you go to the right Brothers, not every Brothers is not all built the same, even though it's ran by the same company. But usually if you especially if you late at night, and we talked about this before, coming home late at night from the club or something, or going out late at night or whatever, and nothing's really open after like 2 a.m.
Unless you want fast food, like I'd much rather eat at a gas station than eat at like McDonald's.
Absolutely, because you don't know that we ain't even getting to that. That's a whole nother story. But I guarantee you, if you go to the right Brothers, and I would say certain ones, even if they're even a Danny and Clyde's, there's a few of those left. And I think maybe 1 or 2 time savers. There's a time saver in Gretna. There is a Danny and Clyde's in Gretna, right there by the mall, by Oakwood Mall. So there's a lot of good places to go check out. What would you say was a good restaurant that you came across and was exceeded expectations?
Okay, so recently on Decatur, they've opened a spot called St. John.
Okay.
And it's by the same people that own Gree. I've never been to Gree, but I've heard great things about it.
I heard of that one. Yeah.
And I was really expecting this place to be overhyped because they were getting something in this industry is that influencers will go and try out a place and they'll be like, it's amazing, it's so good. And I'm like rolling my eyes, like, is it really good? I'm about to tell you all the truth. And it was so good. I was like, we got so much food. Got like 3 appetizers, 2 of us,
Damn.
3 entrees.
Okay.
I don't think we got any dessert, but like I was blown away. The dude, the chef is from New Orleans. He's mad cool. He was great to talk to, and they have these smothered turkey necks that were good. They had potatoes.
If you come to New Orleans, you better get some smothered turkey necks from somewhere.
That like
I will say that.
That's what I'm saying. Like with the gas station food, like that's something that I might get at like a crawfish boil or like a gas station. Like, but this was like, it was cool seeing like an elevated restaurant do some turkey necks, and like they were fantastic. They did a duck that was really good with like a pork belly fat, like just really elevated dishes with true New Orleans flavor. And it was just executed perfectly, and it's a great atmosphere. They have a balcony. So that's something I'm raving about lately, and it's new.
Okay.
They never give new restaurants a chance.
Where's it located at?
It's on Decatur in the Quarter.
Decatur.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, I'm definitely gonna try that one out.
Definitely, it's great for like a date or like go do something nice.
Okay, yeah, I'm glad you brought it up. So, so that's one place that you mentioned. I mentioned a few that's actually pretty good. Like I said, Wags Foods is another good one on the West Bank. On Orleans side, I would say one that I would recommend. I would say Morrow's. I know Morrow's is a high over. I don't know if you like
Morrow's. I like Morrow's.
I was about to say, I love Morrow's because it's more than just the food. I like the food. It's a great vibe in there too.
It is a great vibe.
It's a great vibe in there. I haven't been to Treehouse yet. But I want to try it out. What do you what's you thinking over there?
I have beef with it's one-sided beef on my end. I have one-sided beef with Larry Morrow because I just don't like the way that he does business.
Okay.
But I will go to Morrow's because the food is so good and like I can't resist, and it's down the street from my house. And I do recommend it all the time. But like I have gone to some of his parties and I've seen like people get scammed. I've seen them do really shady things to get more money out of people.
Oh shit.
And I don't really like that. And I don't really want to support someone who does things like that. These are things that I've experienced personally. It's not like hearsay or anything like that. But that's why I don't really go to like Treehouse. And
have you been to Treehouse or no?
I haven't. I mean, I've actually reached out to them because my thing is that I don't want to pay to get in. I'm not paying to get into Treehouse. Let's collab. Let's do something.
That's cool.
And I haven't heard back, but like I'm not going unless I get invited there. But I think like a good place to go instead of Treehouse, I think like Culture Park has a similar vibe to them, and they love.
I do like Culture Park.
Nick, the owner, he also just opened Chow.
Mm-hmm.
I love him. I think he's like a great example of like
really
a great Black business owner. Like he just treats people well. He's not trying to scam people. He's not like, he really genuinely wants people to have a good experience, not just take money from them.
I'm glad you brought that up because I recently just went over there maybe about 3 weeks ago, and I enjoyed it. I loved it.
Fun.
I ain't think
it's a little hot.
At first, I was a little skeptical. I was like,
It's like a garage. It is.
I was a little skeptical. I was like, man, I don't know if I want, but I should have known not to judge a book by its cover, especially in New Orleans. We do things a lot differently down here. So, but you're right. That is one of the best new places that I've visited recently. And I loved it.
Yeah.
I haven't been back for a second time, but I definitely want to go back. Another good place that I went to was, I don't know if a lot of people know about it, and it's an uptown restaurant, but it's Le Crêpe Nanu, and it's a French restaurant.
I've never been there, but French food is my favorite.
I love it. If you love mussels, that's one of their specialties over there. You would love it. As an appetizer or as a part of your meal. But yeah, I would definitely always recommend Le Crêpe Nanu. Is a great place.
I've never even heard of that, and I'm like
really?
always looking for French spots. Yeah.
It is a bit of a neighborhood restaurant.
That's perfect.
So it's a lot of neighborhood patrons that go there that only they know about.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hidden restaurants in New Orleans that
so many
that a lot of people don't know about. That is one of them, and they've been around for a little while. I got a chance to meet the owner. His name is escaping me, but I did get a chance to meet him.
Does he just own the one restaurant? Because I know here it's like there'll be like groups. Like a lot of people own groups.
I don't know if he owns anything else, but he lives. Well, I don't want to tell you where he lives, but the place is pretty good that I went to. It's right there. It's right off of Prytania and close to Upper Line and Prytania. It's right a block over. The name of the street is escaping me, but it's right off of Prytania. The food is great. If you love French food, I mean, French is a part of our culture down here, so you would love this place. It's really good. And the atmosphere is really good too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like almost like a nightclub type of feel.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it Black owned or is it?
No, it's not.
Okay. I feel like most places that are like a club vibe within a restaurant are like Carré, like places like that.
I will say it is more of it is a bit of a bougie spot. I ain't gonna lie. I do like the bougie vibes of certain places, but it's a bougie type feel.
I love bougie places.
But the price is good though.
Okay.
You wouldn't think the way it looks bougie. The people that go in look bougie, but the prices are not. Money. No, you're not spending a lot of money going there. Yeah, so it's dope.
Yeah, I went to Restaurant Rebirth the other day. That's in the Warehouse District, and I've been hearing great things about it. People commenting for me to try it, and I thought it was good. But this is like what I was talking about. Whenever things are overpriced,
yes,
my entree was $43. Yeah, yeah.
What did you get? What did you get?
Scallops, and like you can get scallops at GW Fins. And like I was looking it up because when I did my when I'm gonna do my review. I didn't want
scallops at Miyako's for cheaper than that.
Right. I didn't want to be like, oh, I'm overpaying for these scallops. So I went and looked what other people in other high-end restaurants in New Orleans were charging for scallops. And not one of them exceeded like $35. So I'm paying $43 for they were good, but they weren't better than the other ones that were charging around 30. So it felt like a little, I don't like things that are overpriced. You know, and I get it. Restaurants have been going through like, especially through the pandemic, like a hard time, but you shouldn't be charging more than other. If it was all going up, like everyone was raising their prices or everyone was serving scallops for $43, fine. But it was just them.
I'm glad you brought that up. And now a lot of restaurants, even some of my favorite restaurants that used to be in the city have gone away. And it is not only just a New Orleans issue, it's a nationwide issue. But it's even harder on New Orleans restaurant owners, especially if they only have one restaurant, because it's so competitive. As you can see, there's not a lot of big chain restaurants in New Orleans either. There's only a few of them that can maintain that same status that they have in other big cities. But Melting Pot was one that I loved.
I used to work at Melting Pot.
Did you?
I worked at Melting Pot for 2 years. It was my favorite job.
Oh shit, I might have seen you there.
No, at the one in Baton Rouge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But like the Melting Pot that used to be on St. Charles,
R.I.P.
I used to love that. Used to be my go-to spot.
Love Melting Pot.
That was a great it was a great date spot. It was a great date spot. And it had that nice subtle vibe to it. And the food was great. A little slightly pricey, but it was still worth it though.
Paying for the experience.
It was definitely worth it. Yes, I agree. All right, so I got a question for you. The restaurant, I guess it's not a restaurant, it's a place that holds many different mini restaurants.
Market?
St. Roch Market.
Yeah.
So what is your critique, or I guess, or your review of the St. Roch Market?
St. Roch Market is really problematic because for a lot of people.
Yes.
I've educated myself on it, but I didn't experience it because I didn't live here at the time. But pretty much like it was supposed to become like a affordable grocery store, which is kind of ridiculous because they have a food co-op across the street from there that's supposed to be like a community grocery store.
Mhm.
And I can't afford to shop there. It's like more expensive than Whole Foods, like $5 for pasta.
Shit.
And I'm like, okay, I feel like even if they were to have opened up a community grocery store at St. Roch Market, it probably would have ended up just like food co-op where nobody can even afford to shop there. So I don't really have any issues with it, because with St. Roch Market, I have issues with the government who funded it to be a certain thing and then it became something else.
Right.
But I do appreciate how they give local people an opportunity to create restaurants on a smaller scale. Like there was like a Haitian spot over there that was at St. Roch Market for a long time, and he just opened up his own restaurant. He's doing really well based on based on his IG. He seems like he's doing really well. So I think maybe the beginning of it was, kind of shady and not what people wanted. And I can understand like the issues with that, but I think that it's become something that locals can make build on.
Yeah. I would say it, for a person like myself that has been living in the city, both on the West Bank and uptown at times, it was heavily gentrified of a market, and it was a wannabe of what it should have been, I guess.
Do you think it was gentrified because was there people who were outside, like who didn't live in New Orleans, who were inside of St. Roch Market?
All right, I'll put it like this. So like if I go to a Haitian restaurant or if I go to a Jamaican restaurant, I would like to see a Jamaican or Haitian person cooking the food. That's my thing.
The guy is Haitian.
No.
Oh,
I'm not saying that this guy is.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm giving you an example of what I've seen over there, and I've seen like certain ethnic foods over there or restaurants over there, and it wasn't any ethnic people working there of the culture. It was it was white people, and it was like, that's fine, I understand that, but the food is just, you can feel the food textures when it's cooked. You can feel the love when it's cooked the right way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's some of the experience that I've noticed. I went to a Jamaican spot that was over there. I don't know if it's still there. It's been years since I've been over there, but
no, I don't think so. I would know.
Okay.
I love Jamaican food. There's no.
It used to be a Jamaican spot in there, and it wasn't any Jamaicans in there.
Damn. So whose restaurant is it then? Like, is that St. Roch Market's fault, or the person who's putting on a front that they have a Jamaican food spot? Or is the Jamaican person own it and they're just hiring white people to work there? We don't know. I don't know. I just feel like I get it, but I don't know. I don't go there.
I would say this. I feel like it's a good tourist place to go to.
It's definitely. I always recommend tourists to go there.
If you're curious that you don't know where to go, and there's a lot of different variety over there, they do have that. They do have that. They have a lot of different things that you can try But as a person that's been living in the city, and I mean, I guess you kind of spoiled in a way when it comes to food. If you're a person that's lived here for 20, 30 years or even longer than that, you're expecting a certain type of authenticity to the city, and it just doesn't give that vibe to it. I just don't get that vibe from there.
Yeah, I see. I think it gentrifies in a way where it is a big tourist thing.
Yes.
I don't think that locals want to go there, not only because of the history, but because of the food quality. I think that if there were people in there like throwing down amazing New Orleans style food,
oh yeah, it'd be
more
jumping.
Popular. Yeah,
absolutely.
They do have a good oyster happy hour though. Sometimes I'll give in for that.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, they do like $1 oysters.
What place you talking about?
Elysian Seafood.
Oh, there it is. Elysian Seafood.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah,
see, trying to give me a reason to go back.
So, and sometimes I crave. They're the only place in the neighborhood that has raw oysters. So,
let me ask you. I'm glad you brought up that, because I recently went to Charleston, South Carolina, not too long ago, and I tried some oysters out there. And oysters is a big specialty out there in Charleston, and they do it completely differently than the way we do it. Obviously.
Really?
Oh yeah, they it's more of a steamed type of thing.
Ugh, I don't really like steamed oysters.
Oh, so you understand? So you've been familiar with the difference between steamed and the way we do it down
I'm
here.
an oyster connoisseur. Like I have a list in my phone.
I'm glad you said that.
All the oysters I've ever tried, all the different types.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So tell us the big difference between how it tastes from being steamed versus being
like that,
char grilled, boiled.
So raw oysters, it also depends on like what part of the country you're getting them from.
Very true.
East Coast oysters are going to be really briny and small. West Coast oysters are going to be bigger and earthy. And then Gulf Coast oysters are somewhere in between, and they're usually really big. They're served raw, steamed, char grilled, or baked.
Okay.
Char grilled is like with cheese, lots of flavor, very fatty, kind of like a good balance.
You're gonna get a lot of flavor down here.
Raw and steamed are pretty similar. You're just getting the taste of the oyster, but
yes,
at a different temperature. I don't know. Like I really don't get steamed oysters. And then baked, they usually do like a Bienville or a Rockefeller or something like that, and they top it with different types of.
I think that might be the only. I think that might be the only style I haven't tried of an oyster.
Rockefeller?
I haven't. Yeah, I haven't baked. I haven't had
baked.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the texture of the actual oyster. It's kind of like steamed, and then it's like char grilled in the way where they add a lot of flavor to it with like breadcrumbs and cheese, and like it's more of a like a drier topping than like a melty topping.
Okay.
Like
no, that makes sense.
It's like more juice. Like it's juicier when
I already know how it is. I mean, down here you're gonna get a lot of char broiled oysters, pretty much. And you're gonna get a lot of cheese. You're gonna get a lot of seasoning on it. It's gonna taste good. Butter. It's gonna taste good. But would you say you're tasting more seasoned or you tasting more oyster? Comparing the way New Orleans food compared to everywhere else.
When I eat char grilled oysters?
Yes.
It depends on where you get them from and how hard they cook them. So as someone who eats raw oysters, I like my char grilled oysters to be a little bit less done. Like I want the cheese to be melted, but I still want to get like the oyster flavor. If they char them where it's like black all around, you don't get as much as of the oyster flavor, because it's just like a little like, I don't even know what it is anymore. And it doesn't really have like much of that oyster flavor to it. But like those are really good, like to dip your bread in and like do that kind of thing. So there's like two sides to it.
See, now you talk to my inner fat man now. See, because like if you can get the perfect blend of wine, oyster, bread, the right bread.
Yeah.
Because if you've been to New Orleans, you got to get the right type of bread. That is hard to do at certain restaurants.
I don't know what they're doing though, because some restaurants serve the bread and it's just like they just slice it. They don't even put it on.
They don't do nothing to it. They just slice it and serve it.
I think that's really strange when people do that.
That's a whole nother topic, I feel like, but but I agree with you on that though. I'm like, come on, you can jazz up the bread a little bit. You toast that motherfucker, something. Yeah. Put some butter on it, something. But definitely getting the right type of oyster, wine, and bread mixing at a restaurant is hella key. If you can get that at certain places, I would say I'm trying to think if it's a good place that has that good combination.
Morrow's is my favorite spot for char grilled oysters.
Morrow's, there you go. I would say Basin.
Oh, on Magazine?
On Magazine.
Yeah, I did a video for them.
Yes,
They
you
were
did.
really good.
Yes, they are good. And it was a surprise because I didn't expect that out of them at all because I never heard of them. One day I think we were just walking down Magazine and like, yeah, that looks like a good
The food is
seafood
really
place.
good there. Like
Yes.
when you walk in, you're like, this is just gonna be like just an average place.
Yes.
And the service is slow, I think, but the service is slow everywhere because everywhere is understaffed.
Yes.
So that's just a given.
Don't let that don't let that turn you away if there's not a lot of people in the restaurant.
Yeah.
That's just because of post-COVID, things have just been a little slow.
You just gotta let it be slow.
Yes.
And don't
enjoy the fucking food. The food at Basin surprised the hell out of me. I was so surprised. They're a little pricey, in my opinion. But I think it's worth it. The oysters are worth it over there.
My meal was calm.
Huh? My meal was not, but but yeah, I love that place. It was one of my if I was a critic or a reviewer, I guess, I would definitely give them a surprise restaurant that I did not expect it would be really good.
Yeah. And then Sundays I do a bottomless brunch. I actually haven't been over there. I don't get uptown a lot, so I haven't.
But hold on, time out. You said bottomless brunch?
Yeah, like bottomless mimosas.
Oh, okay. So damn, all right.
Yeah.
So ladies, hey, look.
Bottomless food. I don't think.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, wait a minute. So you can eat whatever you want at a certain price? But no, ladies, if y'all heard of bottomless mimosas at Basin Seafood on Sunday nights. Sunday during the daytime. So you can go get your church on and then go, get full of that.
Brunch is the new church.
But what would be and one more on the restaurant as a hidden gem? Give us a hidden gem in New Orleans. I know you don't want to give away too many of your good ones, but
I try not to be a gatekeeper, Sui Generis. I know it's supposed to be pronounced Sui Generis, but I've been saying Sui Generis forever, and I'm just like, just forgive me.
We're gonna get into that in a second about the enunciation of things.
Oh my god, people hate me. But yeah, they are super local. They grow everything on their farm. That's like a little bit outside of New Orleans, and based on what they have available at their farm, and like they also do like exotic ingredients that they got like brought in from different places. They change their menu every week based on what's available at their farm and what type of exotic ingredients they can get elsewhere. And it's usually really good. Like 90% of the time it's good. I'm not going to say that everything I've had from there is good, but you have to give it to them for their creativity and the fact that they come up with this menu every week. So you have to kind of like consider that a little bit. But they have the best cheesecake. They have amazing desserts. They consistently have a great like cheese plate, like a charcuterie board. And they always have a vegan dish. So if you're vegan, it's a great spot to try something new every week. I know it's hard to get like a variety of vegan food in New Orleans.
Especially New Orleans, yeah. There is a few vegan places.
Bearcat has great vegan food too.
Really? Bearcat? Where's that at?
They have one in CBD and one uptown. And honestly, I told everybody, don't go to the uptown one because it's so busy. That video went viral. And now the downtown one is so busy. I couldn't even get brunch there on Saturday. I was so pissed off. It's like, I'm done telling y'all anything.
All right.
I'm just kidding.
So one more thing, finishing up with TikTok. So what would be some of the hardest things you've experienced being a content creator? Because you've been doing this for a little while now, right?
Yeah, I would say for like, I don't know if it's because of the pandemic. Like, I don't know if it's been 1 year or two or what, because that whole year just
blends in.
The timing is just like really weird these days.
No doubt.
But I think it's been like 2 years, and like just recently that I've gotten like bigger. But I think when I was at more like 20 to 30,000 followers, and I started getting a lot of like strangers, like, people I don't know, saying negative things about me, it's like really hurtful. Just because you try to be like, I don't know this person, like, why do I care what they think?
Right.
But it hurts me more when it's not true than when it's true. If someone says something negative that's true about me, I'm like, damn, they're kind of right. But if it's not true, it gets to me so much. And like, I have spent a lot of time like dwelling on like negative comments that I probably shouldn't. I get a lot of positive comments. I get a lot of positivity on my page, but the hate always like overpowers that. I can get 100 nice comments, and if I get one mean one, like that's the one I'm thinking about.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times you're probably going to get negative comments from people that don't even have the balls to put it on their real account.
Oh,
They'll be fucking hiding behind
user 571.
Yeah.
No profile picture.
As soon as I see numbers in your profile, I'm like, dismissing that shit.
Yeah.
We've had the same thing with our podcast. We've had, people try to either disrupt certain things that we put out there, or they try to just be a straight up asshole just because.
Yeah.
You're just gonna come across those type of people.
Everybody's gonna have their opinion. I've gotten so much better at that lately. Just trying to focus on the positive and just letting the haters do their thing in the comment section by themselves.
Absolutely.
Not responding.
Just like them people that they might get on you about your enunciation of things.
Yeah.
Just let them talk.
I know.
If anything, if they commenting, I look at it like this: if you're in the business of creating content, if you made somebody feel a reaction, I think you did your job already.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Now, even though it might not be the one that you wanted, you made somebody feel something.
Yeah, no, and it's a boost. Every comment you get.
Yes.
And the people, I always think it's like, I like when people argue with other people. Like, I'm not involved in my comments. When there's two people having a full conversation just amongst themselves, like nothing to do with me. They're just arguing about something. And I'm like,
Facts.
Wow. Okay, like go off.
I didn't mean to start this, but
I'm reading all of them.
Where the popcorn at?
Yeah.
Damn, that's what you said. Look, I get it because I don't know, because you start off from not having any followers, and then you start off from where you are now. It's like, damn, it's like I did this, I created this.
No, it's crazy.
It is, but it's so beautiful at the end of the day of what you created, as long as it has a great message, and I think you do.
Yeah.
You want to be able to inform people about where to go, where to hang out, where to go have fun, where to have a good place to eat with your family or friends or a date. People need to know that stuff because there's so many things to choose from in the city. You can't experience them all, especially if you're, say for instance, if someone out of town that came to check out your page and you're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna see what she has to say about certain places because I just don't know where the fuck to eat.
Yeah.
And then you might have helped somebody, narrow it down really quickly.
Time consuming, and like, it's genuine to me because I'm truly someone that loves going out to eat, that loves going to events and festivals.
Absolutely.
So it makes it so easy for me because in my everyday life, I'm always looking for something to do. I spend hours, like before I pick a place to eat, I'm looking at their tagged photos. I'm looking at who's been there. I'm looking at what everyone's wearing. I'm looking
That's a good point.
Menu, and it's extremely time consuming. And not everybody like wants to do that. And so I love just providing a resource for people to be like, okay, I don't want to have to do any of the research. Like, where should I go? And I've made playlists lately. That's like, you can click on the top of my page and it'll be like food, drinks, things to do. Like, so you don't have to sort through like my whole page. Because I do post like other funny things and you can just see like exactly where to go. And it makes me so happy when people come back and they're like, I loved it. I had so much fun. I went to a food festival the other night and I had so many people coming up to me like, I'm here because of you. Like, I'm having so much fun. Like, thanks for posting this. And it makes me feel really good. So I want to keep doing it.
Has anybody ever came up to you out on the street and said, hey, I watched your TikTok.
Yeah.
You helped me out.
A lot now.
Really?
Yeah.
That is
it's so cool. I love it. I want to be humble and be like, but I love it. It's so fun.
I'm not gonna lie, coming across certain people and be like, oh yeah, man, I heard of your show, man.
Isn't it the best feeling?
I'm like, shit, make sure you turn in. Here's a free shirt. Here's a, I love giving away free stuff. Especially to the people that's been big supporters. But yeah, I mean, it definitely does give you a different boost, I guess.
Yeah, and it makes you feel like what you're spending your time doing is worthwhile.
Absolutely, because it's a lot of fucking time.
It's
so much time. But let's finish up. I have 2 more quick questions for you before we get up out of here. And we ask these questions to every special guest on our show. So if you already been watching the show, you already know what it is. So being in New Orleans, you know, we have our special 2 types of sandwiches down here. It's kind of like getting a chopped cheese in New York or getting mambo sauce out in DC. So the two choices that you have, po' boy, shrimp po' boy, or a hot sausage po' boy. Which one would you choose?
Shrimp po' boy.
Shrimp po'. Tell me why. You're making me happy already, but why?
I honestly, like, I've probably had a hot sausage po' boy like one time. It has no appeal to me, but I don't really like pork like that.
Okay.
Or like, you know, like I'm a big seafood person. I actually would choose a catfish po' boy over a hot sausage po' boy too.
Oh Lord, Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh shit. I mean, I love catfish, but damn.
I love and I like smother it with cocktail sauce.
No doubt.
Like
Catfish in Louisiana on a Sunday is, you can get good catfish in a lot of places.
You know where I've had the best catfish at on the Zulu parade route.
Really?
Dude was like cooking catfish in the back of his truck, and it was like the best catfish I've ever had. It was like, you know, the thin, like perfectly crispy. It was so hot because he was just cooking it right there. Yeah.
Be on the lookout for we're gonna have a additional bonus content, audio only, unfortunately, but we have some good stories about Mardi Gras this year that we will put out there on the audio. So make sure y'all stay tuned to that. Follow our show and make sure y'all can get that additional content with Alex. But yeah, you brought up a good point. You can, during Mardi Gras season is when people are the super cool, super generous. I think
I had to pay for it.
Oh, he charged you? Oh, well, that's still.
Yeah, he was charging everybody, not just me.
But still, you're gonna get a lot of good food out here. Yeah. One of my favorite parades to go out here is Non-Tops. I always say Non-Top is the black parade. It's the black parade of Mardi. I know Zulu is the face of black Mardi Gras, but I'm telling you.
I've heard amazing things.
Non-Tops.
Everybody, and I'm like, I
Non-Top,
and they're like, you have to go. I know my mom flew in that day, and I had to pick her up from the airport.
It's always the Saturday before Mardi Gras
in Algiers. Endymion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Endymion's that night. Yep. But this is a day. It's a day parade, so it's usually like around early that morning. Like
at 10.
Yeah, about 10 in the morning, and it ends maybe like around 5 in the afternoon. It's a long parade, but it makes several different loops. But it's all in the Algiers area. Trust me, I think y'all will love it.
I'm going next year. Like if my mom comes in, she's got to take an Uber.
Yeah, I mean, especially with Mardi Gras finally coming back after 2 years. So it was dope this year.
It was such a blast. And I marched this year.
Did you?
Yeah. You didn't see?
Right. That's right. You did say that.
Yeah.
You're gonna edit that part out. But
I was on a Mardi Gras team this year, and I marched with them. It was a crazy experience.
With the Steppers, right?
No, I marched with the NOLA Bombshells. I'm not on the team anymore. I left the team, but it was like just a really cool experience. But it was getting a little bit too expensive for me.
So, I can imagine.
Yeah, Mardi Gras teams and a cruise are very expensive.
Yes, it is, especially the throws. I mean, you got to provide your own throw packages and all that good stuff. So yes, I know.
Be prepared.
But yeah, you heard it already. Alex is team shrimp, so don't get mad about it. Fuck your feelings. But no, that's what I wanted to bring up. So you said where did you go to get the hot sausage po' boy from? I'm curious.
Know. I feel like I haven't had a hot sausage po' boy in years. Like it probably was before I even moved to New Orleans.
I would say I would give it a shot one more time.
I will. It's gonna be difficult to me to choose it like over like shrimp because that's what I usually go for. But yeah. I'm gonna give it a try. Like
I would say, you're on the West Bank right now. I would say try out Durbandy food store. I think you would really like it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it out. Give it another chance.
Yes.
Because with the hot sauce, I like a lot of I like fully dressed.
Yes.
Can you get it fully dressed?
Yes. Okay. Shout out to EJ the DJ who couldn't be here today. He would probably be extremely sad to hear you not pick hot sausages. Sorry, bro. But Team Shrimp killed Hot Sauces for season 3. We already started season 4 off right. So I'm already excited. So so I got one last question for you. It's also another question that we always ask. So Alex, being a content creator, how would you give some free game to your younger self before you got started? What's some kind of knowledge that would you give to yourself before you got started?
I would say, like I was saying before, try to pay less attention to the haters. Don't let it get to you as much.
Yes.
I'd also like, not every video is going to go viral. Not every video is going to do well, and that's okay. Like, it doesn't mean that you're not good at what you're doing, or, you know, you're not funny, or you're not giving people what they want, because it does sting a little bit whenever you post something and like nobody's liking it or no one's interacting with it. But I've learned that not everything I put out is going to be a hit, and that's okay.
Very true. Very true. And it also depends on what platform you're on too. I know TikTok is your main platform. Mm-hmm. Have you thought about going to other platforms?
I've been on Instagram, like just like regular. I just recently, a few months ago, started posting onto Instagram. Mm-hmm. I don't like Instagram as much. I think it's so like,
yeah,
and like, oh, like it's hard to be real on TikTok, on Instagram, because everyone's so judgmental on there.
It's kind of like how Facebook became.
Yeah, it's like, kinda, you know, whatever. I started posting on YouTube, but I'm not as consistent, but I'm trying to get better at it. My people really love my TikToks, and like they don't do nearly. What I post on TikTok, I post on Instagram, and it does not. It's
completely different.
People don't want to see me eating; they want to see me in a bathing suit. So that's how.
Yeah, that is very true.
So. You know, I'm trying, but
that's a good point.
It's not what they want to see.
That's a good point. I ain't even thinking about that part. TikTok is a little bit more real. You get a lot more genuine people on there right now because it's so new. I think over time, you know, we'll see if it can kind of stand the test.
Yeah, I hope it does, because I'm doing well on there, but because it's more genuine, I'm excited. I'm ready for brands to start getting on TikTok, because
and they're coming though.
Yeah, though they are. Kim is on TikTok now.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I knew I was like, oh yeah, it's going. So Kim Kardashian is on TikTok. Is never like
you're smart
happening
because you jumped on it before it was a wave.
If I would have joined TikTok this year, I wouldn't be.
Oh yeah, they've already changed the algorithms on it. Yeah, so it's already different for people that's gonna be trying to make a name. It's gonna be a lot harder for you now.
It's so hard now. And like my friends used to like make fun of me because it was like an app for kids, like during the pandemic in 2020.
Damn, that's true.
2019,
I forget about that.
Like, grow up, like you're not a teenager. Like, why are you out here making TikToks? And now I'm getting Brand Diesel Popeyes. So
yo, and it's funny because like the number one thing that people think about when you say, oh, you're making a TikTok, like they thinking you're gonna be dancing and
right.
Like, no, I'm not shucking and jiving on here.
Dancing TikTok.
It's more than that.
Yeah.
So so TikTok is definitely ahead of the game in as far as everything. So you were extremely smart. So shouts out to you for doing everything you've been doing.
Silver lining with the pandemic, because I wouldn't have been doing that if I wasn't stuck at home.
Well, you know, everybody was bored in the house, you know, so we had to come up with something.
Yeah, I'm glad I did.
Yeah, no doubt. So that's it for this show. Any last thoughts from you, Alex, before we get up out of here?
No, I mean, I just want to shout out to everybody who follows me and who supports me. I like appreciate every single one of my followers. I'm not able to create content and do what I do and get these brand deals without the support of y'all. And I will continue to keep making content about whatever it is that y'all want me to talk about, as long as you keep supporting me.
Keep making them food reviews from New Orleans, because I love them shits. And I know a lot of people do. Like I said, you've been doing your thing. You've been tearing it up on TikTok. So shout out to Alex. Thank you for stopping through to HQ. We appreciate it for the second time. So shout out to Alex. Make sure y'all check us out on this episode. Make sure y'all go to our website, themotherfuckingpod.com. Get the merch. get the app, download the episode, get the merch as well. As you see, I'm rocking the black and red hat. I got the dog tags. We got the shirts, the hoodies, the masks. Protect yourself from the monkey flu and Omicron, Mariana, whatever coming through. So make sure y'all protect yourself and get the motherfucking masks. But like I said, also make sure y'all check out this episode here that's gonna be up very soon for season 4. So you already know, man. Season 4, get the motherfucking new season. Check us out. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and our Instagram and TikTok. You already know what it is. I'm Mr. Headquarters. Shout out to my dog, EJ the DJ. Make sure y'all check us out again on all our socials. You already know what it is. It's the motherfucking pod.